Hey guys, John here from IncomeMesh.com. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to cover 5 reasons why I chose not to go forward with my Sendowl and Thrive Apprentice stack to launch my first premium courses on IncomeMesh.com, and instead chose to go with WooCommerce and Learndash. Here we go. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Now, if you've been around on my channel for a while, you might think of this as a very surprising decision that I made. I've made several walkthrough tutorials, first impression videos about Thrive Apprentice, and I truly believe that it is a great tool and it's a perfect tool for a lot of people. In my personal situation, it just wasn't right for me. And in this video, I want to cover that in a little bit more detail because the whole goal of what I do here online is to help you find the perfect tool for your next project. So what may be the perfect tool for your next project may not be the perfect tool for my project, but I want to make sure that I maintain transparency and be, fully honest with you guys, because you might be thinking, why is he using Learndash and not this, the new hotness, which is Thrive Apprentice? So here are 5 big reasons. But before I go into the 5 reasons, I just want to say this is not meant to be a knock on Thrive Apprentice. Again, they are still officially, I believe they're officially still in beta. I know their launch is imminent, but it's still a product that's in development. They're doing an amazing job and they're developing it very rapidly. So these are certain things that I think just on the here and now, it's not quite where it needs to be. For my purposes, my specific needs, but long term, I can see this being a fantastic tool that could actually replace Learndash's functionality in terms of what is needed to launch a successful online business. So let's go ahead and waste no more time and get into those 5 reasons now. So reason number 1, and it's probably the most important reason, is there's a bit of a limitation on the access control side of Thrive Apprentice. Now, what does that mean? So if somebody buys a product on Monday, let's say they buy access to a course on Monday, and on Tuesday they get into it, they see that it might not be for them, they request a refund, and you grant that refund. Currently, in the integration, I think there's still a bit of work to be done because I have noticed that user may still have access to get into the course, even though they didn't actually give you money. Not a good thing. Number 2 is that I think Thrive Apprentice is really going after the simplicity aspect of launching online courses, but in doing so, they're letting go a little bit of the functionality that is really needed. One example of this is being able to manually add students into courses. Now, because they're using Sendowl as a protection option into Thrive Apprentice, you're a little bit limited in what you can actually do. You can give somebody a coupon code and have them go through the checkout process to get into the course. But in terms of, Learndash, for example, all the users, all the data, all the courses they have access to is stored right there easily in the user's database within WordPress. And if you want to go and adjust who has access to what course, you can pop into their user account, make the adjustment and save, and you're good to go. That's some functionality that is a bit more complex on Learndash's side, but there are real situations. My wife and I, we've sold online courses for about 4 or 5 years now. And there are these situations that I can see in Sendowl where there's going to be a bit of a frustration over time. Number 3 is the lacking of a member's dashboard. Now, this is one that bothers me because when I'm on a website, whether it be Amazon or just some other info product website, and I make a purchase, I want to be able to go and access my account, change my password, do little things like that, and also, most importantly, access my user account history and the order history that I've made. Because Sendowl uses off-website transaction processing and all that good stuff, it's not acting like a MemberPress or a WooCommerce or WooCommerce memberships, any of those where you actually have access to all your order history right there on the website. That's one. It's not a deal breaker for most, but for me particularly, I want to make sure that I allow my users to have as few questions as possible and have readily available access to their own information, their own account information on the website. Number 4 is the sales funnel flow within the current Thrive Apprentice and Sendowl integration. And this is really, it's not a knock on Thrive Apprentice or a knock on Sendowl, it's just a choice. So the Sendowl choice behind how they do one-click upsells is limited and it's simple. So limited is not good, simple is great. So, you have to find that balance between what you need and what you really want to deal with from a complexity perspective. And you can do one-click upsells with Sendowl, and it's done very elegantly. They make the purchase, and then you can send them to maybe an HTML embedded video or just some text and an image of the product, and you give them a yes/no button if they want to add it to their order. Now, that can work for a lot of businesses if your customers are going to be there on desktop and they're ready to watch another video, another sales letter after they've just probably watched a previous sales letter to get into the purchasing process, that may work for you. But for me, I want to be able to have a bit more design flexibility, the ability to build out a full-blown secondary sales page that can have some formatting, and mainly, it needs to reflect the style of the checkout experience they just had. So if they just came from a sales page that looked beautiful, built in Thrive Apprentice or Thrive Architect or any other page builder, I want them to have a similar experience when they go through the one-click upsell functionality. In my course, Gutenberg Hero, I talk about the importance of consistent branding and the colors, the imagery, everything that goes from step to step. If you're going through a sales funnel, every time things kind of swap styles around, you can cause a glitch in the matrix, and your users might kind of get a little nervous or like, this isn't quite right, or this is what I expected to see, and that can hurt your conversions over time. And lastly, number 5 is I want to provide a singular experience for my users. And this is a little bit similar, kind of alluding to the previous item here, but with Thrive Apprentice, in order to simplify the experience, Thrive is giving you essentially a secondary theme. The Thrive Apprentice layout, where you've got a very simple item menu bar at the top, and then your course grid layout, which is kind of the splash screen of the Thrive Apprentice courses area. And that works really, really well to kind of level the playing field and give that singular experience. And it's a very simple experience that's conducive to learning. The challenges, if you particularly want to match your blog's theme, for example, with the Thrive Apprentice theme, you're probably not going to be able to do that. And the course layout page, similarly, for example, how the lessons, the modules, the topics, how those are all laid out and organized, you don't have the most design freedom around that. If you want to get rid of the sidebar, maybe move the sidebar down to the bottom, you're a bit out of luck there. Compare that with Learndash, and it's built out just like a normal WordPress page. So whether you choose to use the Gutenberg editor, which I highly recommend, or you're using Elementor, Thrive Architect, any of those tools, you have more design freedom, more design flexibility with the actual course experience. All right, so there are 5 reasons why I have chosen, and you don't have to make that same choice, but why I have chosen to go with Learndash over Thrive Apprentice for the school that I'm beginning to build on incomesh.com. Now, at this point, I want to go ahead and invite you guys to take a look at my Gutenberg Hero course. If you want to see kind of the end result of how building in Gutenberg and building with Learndash can look in a course format, I'm very proud of the course. I think I've done a great job with it, and I think that there's a lot of valuable information that can apply to anybody and help you save money with your future content editing needs. If you're using a specific page builder if it's not like a Thrive suite where you're using all the tools in the tool bag, but if you have this individual page builder that you're paying for every year, this would be a great way for you to see if maybe you don't need it anymore, because Gutenberg allows you an amazing amount of design freedom if you know how to use it the right way, which I teach in the course. So last thing I want to say about the whole topic of Thrive Apprentice versus Learndash. Thrive Apprentice is going to build up over time. Learndash is at that matured state where they're doing great at keeping up with kind of what's necessary to continue to advance their product. For example, when Gutenberg launched, Learndash didn't even skip a beat. There were Gutenberg blocks ready to go to pull in the progress bar, pull in the lessons, pull in individual courses, and even buy buttons. They've done a great job to keep up with the trend there, but they also have large clients like the University of Florida, which is where I went to college. Woohoo! Go Gators. So they have large clients, which kind of, it tells you they're going to be a little bit less agile in terms of bringing in new features, new functionality, new interface design aspects. And that's just because, when you get to that matured state, that's kind of what you expect to see. With that said, you have so much possibility to, add extensions, add third-party attachments like Uncanny Owl. I'll talk about that in another video. But a lot of things you can do to really customize that experience and give you a lot of control over your school. The downside of using Learndash now, just to be, fully fair, is you have to be willing to learn it, and learning Learndash. You have to be willing to understand how to work with that experience, how to run your courses in a scalable manner, and how to create them efficiently. So, be on the lookout for more tutorials about Learndash and Thrive Apprentice, because I'm never giving up on the tools I see so much promise in, and I see a ton of promise in Thrive Apprentice. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave a comment on what you think. Have you tried Learndash? Have you tried Thrive Apprentice? What do you think about the two? Some of the feedback I'm sure I'll hear is, well, yeah, there's an additional fee though to using Learndash, and Thrive Apprentice is all included. That's true, but you also have to think about, long term, if you're building a business, there's going to be costs, and you want to make sure you build the correct stack to work for you. There's a lot more of that coming on this channel, so be sure to stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.